is the bowler, and he's bowling to Kris Srikkanth.
Well taken, Tim Zura, throwing himself to the left.
Oh, that was magnificent. It seemed to keep going. I think that's what he was suggesting. Have a look at this, though. He had to keep going, that's for sure. Ended up catching it right in the end of his fingers there. It may have bobbed out, and he may have had to have another grab at it, but it certainly was a long way down the leg side. I think he's trying to tell Alan Border that moved off the wicket. Whoops. We've got a problem here. It looks as if McDermott has done something to his ankle. On his foot there somewhere. He was halfway to the wicket, and all of a sudden he started limping. Now seems to be cramp the way they're treating him at the moment. I thought that was for a calf cramp. There he goes, just there. Maybe that he's got a bit of cramp in the calf. That exercise of moving the toe back normally is to relieve cramp in that area.
Won't thrill Alan Border too much, because he's really only got 5 frontline bowlers.
He's also having a little push of that toe. It seemed to me that McDermott was suggesting the area just below his ankle was causing the problem. Well, he's come to a grinding halt. He's now on his way back to his marker.
Now he's been called by Peter McConnell for overstepping. That was very nicely timed by Srikkanth. It looked like just a push, but it's beaten Dean Jones into the mid-on boundary. A beautiful time.
McDermott to Gavaskar.
Tire of the side screen on the way through. Even though Greg Matthews picked up before it hit the boundary, that doesn't matter. Once it hits the side screen, it's 4 runs.
Reid comes into the attack. McDermott 5 overs for 19 runs. It's gone for him. He's got that pretty well over mid-wicket.
Three runs to Srikkanth, and I just wonder, Bill, whether this may be a tactic that India are going to employ. I've seen Bruce Reid bowl very well in these one-day matches, and straight away Srikkanth taking the attack right up to him. On several occasions, the Indians have allowed Bruce Reid to dictate the terms of play. They're going to perhaps give him something to think about today by trying to take the game up to him.
Davis bowls to Gavaskar.
Out, got him, just a little deflection, and once again Simon Davis breaks through. He's having a wonderful summer. Gavaskar just trying to chip it away. The ball cut back, and Border took a straightforward catch. The first wicket falls at 34.
Full credit there, not only to Simon Davis, but also to Alan Border, because that was perfect positioning of the field there. Davis, who moves the ball in, Gavaskar looking to work it away on the onside, just held up on him on just a shade and spooned quite a simple catch to Border, who was in that wicket area, around about mid-wicket. So Gavaskar out, the first breakthrough for Australia. Gavaskar out-caught Border bowled Davis for 11, and India 1 for 34.
Amarnath facing Reid.
Got a chance this time, and he misses. When he had the chance, the underarm was there. Srikkanth was well short of his ground, and Dirk Wellham picked it up cleanly, couldn't hit the one stump.
And good cricket by Dirk Wellham there. He learned from the previous delivery. Look how quickly he's coming in on this occasion. Summed it up nicely, picked it up on that rough wicket area, knew all he had to do was hit the stumps, but unfortunately for Australia, he missed them. He was only looking at the one stump. It was a tough throw, but that would have been a handy wicket for Australia.
Got that one. That's gloriously played. That's what he's been looking for, the half volley, and he doesn't miss many of those. Crashes into the cover boundary.
And rarely do you see Bruce Reid over pitch, but Srikkanth quickly to get onto the front foot then. You can see that that's where they've worked out Srikkanth. They've given him nothing to drive so far, and that's probably the first real occasion today that he's been able to get that front foot right down to the pitch of the ball, and he smashed it along the ground.
Steve Waugh, the bowler. Amarnath on strike. It's nicely timed by Amarnath for 4.
A lot of bottom hand in that shot, up and under. No one out in the vacant area at long on. Very safe. Took the percentages out of the shot and picked up a boundary.
Matthews to Srikkanth. Oh, great catch. Great catch by Matthews. Smashed back by Srikkanth. Marvellous reflex catch by the young New South Wales all-rounder. And that gives Australia their second wicket. And it gets rid of Kris Srikkanth, who is just starting to look dangerous.
Great catches win matches, and that was a magnificent catch on the right hand. The crowd and Matthews come to his feet. Jubilation in the Australian camp. Srikkanth goes for 37, caught and bowled Matthews. India lose their second with a score at 66.
Oh, and that must have been very close to stumps. He's knocked the bails off. Or has he used his hands? There seems to me the bails are still on there. It may be that he's out-handled the ball.
Yes, and I think he gave himself out. I don't think he looked to the umpire for a decision there. I think Jimmy Amarnath realised that this ball was going back onto the stumps. He knocked it away with his hand and immediately walked. Didn't wait for a decision. We'll watch that again. It's pushed down. It's going back towards the stumps. And yes, he handles the ball. Jimmy Amarnath out handling the ball, and he gives himself out. Years of experience. Off he walks. A very disappointed man, but a very sporting one. Didn't put the pressure on the umpires at all, and he's out in a sensational fashion.
He's a little smile on his face as he moved away there. He realised he'd got it all wrong. 3 for 70.
Reed to Kapil Dev.
Oh, and he's got him caught behind. Yes, of course. A big edge there. Dev, a magnificent player for India, is up, caught behind, and the Indians now in trouble.
Magnificent fine performance by Reed. It just pitched in the right spot. A new batsman's come to the crease. Kapil Dev in a more defensive frame of mind. Played back and across. It got the edge. Zura took the catch, and a beautiful piece of bowling in India. Fumbling and stumbling their way to defeat here because the Australian bowlers well on top. Beautiful delivery, just the faint touch. Straightforward catch. And a great reward for a fine piece of bowling. Kapil Dev out for 1. And India 4 for 71.
Vengsarkar has 2. And he also has the strike. It's going to be the off-spin of Greg Matthews. And just a few adjustments to the field. The man at short third man being pushed a little finer. Oh, and that's a big edge through the slip cordon down towards the boundary. And it'll probably run into the wheel of the side screen. So 4 runs off a very thick edge, and Matthews bows his head.
Border to Azharuddin.
It's beautifully hit by Azharuddin. Davis, and he can't quite get to it. Pretty good attempt. Might have just got a hand to it, and that brings up the 100 for India.
A stage of the game where some urgency needed by the Indian batsman. That one's almost gone for 6. A difficult one for Davis, running the same way as the ball. He's turned his back on it. A big hit.
To be out. Yes, Azharuddin is on the way. Doesn't even bother to look at Tony Crafter. And once again, Matthews on the job in the field.
Wonderful anticipation by Greg Matthews. The final series he's had, he bowled beautifully up in Sydney, and now anticipating the run out, picked it up, and a magnificent performance. It really was. Azharuddin on his way, and had a vital blow. And this is how he went. Vengsarkar unsighted the ball off the pad. He's safe. Look how quickly Matthews got in. The underarm throw hits the stumps. Tony Crafter gives him out. So Azharuddin out for 14. India 5 for 108.
Border to Dilip Vengsarkar.
And that's nicely placed. Vengsarkar getting that between the two men in the outfield, McDermott and Dean Jones.
McDermott comes in now to Vengsarkar.
And just short of Tim Zura. It was a good save. Saved 4 runs, I would suggest. But it didn't quite carry.
The previous one flew. That one extra bounce. A bit much back, mate. Just bounced in front of Zura.
That's good placement. Very good placement indeed. Perfect timing. Man way out there at deep extra cover. Couldn't make those last extra few yards.
And just 8 boundaries in this inning so far. By some good placement by Vengsarkar, then off the back foot.
Beautiful stroke for 4. It'll get onto those practice pitches and just race away from the fielder.
There's a few times today that the Australian pacemen have overpitched. And that's what happens here at the MCG today. I think if you do overpitch, give the batsmen the opportunity to play their drive.
Reed rolling to Ravi Shastri. Good quick work from Border. He picked up and threw the end where Shastri is running. Being a left-hander made it a little easier. He angled himself nicely, picked up now, and Shastri is only level with him. And bingo.
Beautifully fielded by the Australian captain.
It's a very big hit over mid-wicket. Just first bounce into the crowd. And Shastri's taking advantage of that let-off. So too Vengsarkar.
And on probably most cricket grounds around the world, this hit from Shastri would have been 6 runs. Beautifully struck, hitting with the spin, pulling it away over mid-wicket, and just 1 bounce. Longest boundary here at the MCG.
It goes again, same spot, same result. First bounce into the crowd, and this is good tactics from the Indians. They know Matthews has got to bowl 3 overs to get up to his 10. They're going to take full advantage of it. Even though the field is out, there are 2 men out there, one at long on, one at deep mid-wicket. 2 very big hits.
Magnificently played, Ravi Shastri. Taking the long handle, taking the risk and getting away with it. 2 big hits. The men out there, they've been dropped back now.
And they'll pick up 2 there.
Suddenly the pressure coming back onto the Australians. With this onslaught from Ravi Shastri and Dilip Vengsarkar. The 150 coming up in 249 balls. Just under 10 overs remaining for India. Eleven runs from this over of Greg Matthews. The Indian batsman is giving Matthews something to think about now. He's dictated the terms of play so far out there. This over very much gone India's way.
And Matthews removes him. That is a very good wicket for Australia. Didn't drop the ball short, Greg Matthews. He had the common sense to keep it up and let Shastri have a go at it. And claimed the wicket. So easy to be under pressure and drop it short. And force yourself to keep it up.
Well, the Indians taking the points early in the over. Greg Matthews coming back strongly with that well-flighted delivery. It would have been quite easy for him to have gone for the quicker one, a shorter one, but he didn't. He kept it up. It's produced the goods. He's bowled Vengsarkar for 41. And India now 6 for 151. stumps.
Gone anyway, but that was difficult. Reed wasn't behind the stumps. He's tall enough and was quick enough and sensible enough to be able to whip it back onto the stumps. The run out has come from something that Shastri will be thinking about out there at the moment, and Chetan Sharma is going to be very disappointed about it.
And what good reflexes from Tim Zora. Throwing it with the gloves on, and Reed running him out by some 8 or 9 inches. Alan Border, he was right behind the stumps, but he went back even to back up the throw of Bruce Reed. So Sharma out without even facing a ball. So catastrophe here for India, losing wickets on consecutive deliveries. So Sharma out without scoring, and India tumbling in this 42nd over to 7 for 151.
Bruce Reed now, and he's bowling to Binny. Well, he's tall enough to get up there. Not everyone would have been able to do it without taking a sizable jump in the air. Roger Binny has gone. The 8th wicket down for India, 163 on the board.
And a good piece of bowling by Bruce Reed. Just short enough, try and entice Roger Binny into the drive. Was too short for that. Simple return caught and bowled for him. Been a very good display by the Australians here. They've concentrated on line and length, and Binny out. Caught and bowled Reed for 4. India 8 for 163.
Simon Davis to bowl had his stint from the members' end, 7 overs, 1 for 11. He was the man once again who broke through with the first wicket of Gavaskar.
One played straight down the ground. So going for the second. Off go the bails. He's given him out. Crikey, I didn't think that he was that far away from being in on that occasion. We'll have to look at the replay.
Well, he couldn't have grounded the bat. It was a terrible piece of running because there was always 2 there. That ball wasn't hit all that briskly by Shastri. He called for the second, and it was Bruce Reed, who's not all that quick. Took a while to pick it up. It's just a tap. The batsman slowly away, Moray. Bad running between the wickets. He has a look, and here he comes back and just puts the bat in, and he's out. And that's poor running between the wickets. Excellent piece of camera work. Moray run out for 1. 9 for 169. Ravi Shastri 35 not out on strike. It's gone for it. It's up in the air. It may fall in. Matthews is coming in. There's a bit of a confusion. Oh, they mucked that up. Matthews should have gone for that. It was his catch. He let the cover fieldsman take it. Didn't put a hand to it. Stephen Waugh, and a let off for Ravi Shastri.
Yes, I think Stephen Waugh went out there, and all he needed was a huge scream from Matthews to say mine, but a lot of noise in this ground. Very difficult to hear a scream like that. He goes after it. Had Matthews at this stage said mine, and given that Waugh could have heard him, of course he would have gone forward and taken the catch. But a big roar went up as that ball went in the air, and a little bit of confusion between the 2 New South Welshmen.
The first mistake was made in the field. Would have been a difficult catch for Matthews, but he was coming into the ball, or running with it. Finally, it fell safely. Ravi Shastri survives. This time he's gone straight, and this will go safely over Whelm's head. Shastri coming back to the 3rd, puts Yadav on strike.
Well, not a bad over so far for the Indians. 5 runs from the first 2 balls. Yadav has got to get himself a single now in order to give the strike back to Ravi Shastri. Have a look at this. Moving back, hit that right off the middle of the bat, and it was well placed too. He knew that he had to clear Wellham. He has a desperate little search up above his head there to see if he can get anywhere near that one. He didn't quite hit it well enough to get it down to the boundary.
49 overs bowled, 9 for 179, the final 6 deliveries. Ravi Shastri looking around for the gaps. Simon Davis to bowl his final over. It's gone for it. He's hit that pretty well straight to... He's fumbled down there. They'll come back for the second. It'll be very close if it's a good throw. The throws to the bowler's end. He's just home. My word, that was a good throw after a fumble. Davis at the stumps. And Yadav just making his ground.
Tremendous running too, Bill. They went for the second there on that fumble. Yadav flew down the pitch and just managed to get home. He only set off when the ball left the hand. It's a long way down there, and I think he just gets home, so that's a good decision.
This time he gets it, and it's very well placed. That's 4. That's beautifully placed. So after 2 misses, the third one, he's successful. Beautifully struck through long on.
Yes, that's the one he's been after. There's a gap down there, and he's been trying to heave the ball into that area. Have a look at this. On the walk he was on that occasion. And the minute he hit it, I think that he realised that with this fast outfield, he'd got a boundary. So just 1 ball to go now.
Last ball, Ravi Shastri on 47, top score. 185 for 9. He's got it, but there's a man out there and he's gone the wrong way, so we have to double back. So they're through for 2. They'll look for the third. And they go for it. It's going to be a certain run out. Yeah, Shastri run out for 49. 9 for 187. So the target for Australia, 188. And the fine innings ends for Ravi Shastri, run out for 49.
Yes, and I think that tells a story too. The Australian flag being waved down there would suggest that everyone is pretty happy with the performance of this side. Border asking for the heavy roller, I'd suggest. He won the toss, decided to field first, and I think that he should be pretty happy with the performance of his bowlers and indeed his fieldsmen. They really have done very well.
That's a fine shot from David Boone. He really has played that shot extremely well right throughout this summer.
That'll make the Tasmanian boy, David Boone, very happy. One like that right in the meat early on in an innings can be the turning point. Always takes the head off of the umpire there, Peter McConnell. Very pleasant sound, the ball rattling into the pickets at mid-wicket. Certainly that'll quicken up the old heartbeat of Roger Binny. Kapil Dev realises he can't afford to give boundaries away early on in this innings.
Yadav chasing from mid-on.
Chetan Sharma to Boone.
He goes through Kapil Dev. Fielding in an awkward position there in that rough patch. And they'll be looking for 4. And get it pretty easily. 4-all run. And a bad over there from Chetan Sharma. Australia none for 29 after 8.
Marsh facing Kapil Dev.
Well, that must be close. He's got him. LBW. Well, that was a very important breakthrough for Kapil Dev. He must have found it pretty difficult to justify having another over, and he's been rewarded. That was a good delivery. It looked very straight to me and a big appeal.
Just darted back off the seam, pitched right in line with the off stump. Coming back, Jeff Marsh playing from the crease. That's the thing that did him, although there was a bit of movement there. So umpire Peter McConnell adjudging Marsh out. LBW to Kapil Dev. He's out for 9, and Australia 1 for 31.
Well, that's a lovely shot. Beautifully driven down the ground by Boone. This outfield is pretty quick, but that was beautiful timing and a lovely shot.
Tremendous shot from David Boone, and that's one aspect of his play that really has improved this summer. He's driving. Seen him drive a couple already today through the offside. That then nicely placed, straight down the ground, splitting the bowler, splitting the man at mid-on. Just highlighting how quick this outfield here is.
Wellham facing Chetan Sharma.
Oh, and he's got him down the leg side. Well, a huge plead from all around the ground, and they cannot believe it. Well, Wellham certainly stood his ground. He didn't seem to think he'd got bat on ball there. It'll be very interesting, Staggy, to have a look at this one.
Well, Kiran Moray, I think, Tony, is a little happier than what Chetan Sharma was there with that appeal. Chetan Sharma, even though he went up, He did have a smile on his face as he went back, and it clearly hit the pad on the way through.
Mohammad Azharuddin to Boone. Safely away. Last point. Very good square of the wicket, David Boone. 50 is up for Australia. They won the first final Wednesday. 50 runs towards the 188 they need to win this one here at MCG.
4 men protecting the offside. Gavaskar's gone out of slip, and that shot was in the air, didn't quite get it. But it found the gap. There was a cover point, mid-off, and the third man fine, Yadav, and he found the gap between those fieldsmen.
Azharuddin bowls now to Wellham. Nothing like out. Enthusiastic, mind you, but nothing like out.
Oh, I don't know, Rich. I don't know. I would have gave that a big shout. He was crossing over. It's just a matter of when the bail actually come off.
Shivlal Yadav bowls to Boone.
And that's a good piece of work by Shivarama. He's got the run out, and that was a magnificent piece of work. Well, you don't see that too often, but the man at short mid-off has effected a run out.
Well, what an exciting piece of cricket. Sivarama Krishnan, the man at bat pad on the offside. Reflex action, picks up, hits the off stump. And Boone could barely complete the stroke. Went forward, couldn't get the bat down in time. And what a vital breakthrough. Boone was looking so solid. Missed out on the half-century there. Tremendous performance for Australia. They're now 2 down for 77. Must go on and make a good score. Here's a start. It's gone for 1, almost a collision. And they get 2. Showers have been forecast for this afternoon here at the MCG, and it's been a very pleasant day.
Yadav is the bowler. Wellham taking strike.
In the air, and Yadav can't grab it. Well, perhaps a Shivarama Krishnan or a Kapil Dev might have grabbed that caught and bowled chance.
He knows too when it wasn't a difficult one. Just didn't quite react as quickly as maybe he could have. Slow to get the right hand out. And Wellham's safe.
India desperate to stay in this series. The one limited overs trophy that they haven't won, Benson Hedges World Series Cup. Presently hold all 4. Long chase for Yadav. India presently hold the other 4 limited overs trophies: the World Cup, the World Championship of Cricket, the Asia Cup, and the trophy in Sharjah for one-day games. This is the only one they don't hold.
Shastri to Wellham.
Safe. And a much-needed boundary there for Australia and Dirk Wellham as the 100 comes up.
Well, attention again showing. Ravi Shastri just straying a fraction. The Australian crowd loves it. This time not beaten by the height of the bounce. Hit that one fair and square in the middle and hit it to the furthest boundary at the MCG.
And Shivlal Yadav has bowled out his full 10 overs at a cost of 27. Shastri's bowled 8 for 29. Just 2 to go for the left-arm spinner. Here's Azharuddin. And a good shot. That'll be a great relief to Alan Border. He may have got his sights on Mohammad Azharuddin, I think, as the least experienced man out there.
Yes, from the minute he brought that man up, that fine leg, he daren't stray in any way at all. down the leg side. On this occasion he did, and Border, aware that there's no one back,
Willem's going to look for a second. Shastri is the fielder. That's very well run again. Border had to stretch. Well, it's a very tense match here, this second final. There's another great cricket match coming up down in Melbourne shortly. Beautifully placed. You get 3 for that. Oh, 4. A little bit of lack of stretching power there. That was the situation where you actually hurl yourself at the ball to stop it going for 4.
Yes, he sets off after it. He's quite quick. This outfield's pretty quick as well. Comes rushing across around the ground there, and he certainly got it wrong at the end.
Kapil Dev to Willem.
Out. He's got him. He hit it straight to Azharuddin, a backward square leg. And all of a sudden, coasting, a little bit more pressure applied. The captain comes on and he does what is required. He picks up the vital wicket.
Well, the big question is this move of Kapil Dev bringing himself into the attack a little too long. One would have thought that about 6 or 7 overs ago he may have brought himself back on, but instantly picking up the wicket of Dirkwell out for 43, the end of a very good partnership there for Australia. And Australia 3 for 144, still needing 44.
Well, that's a good shot, and he hasn't got a fine where it gets beautifully played. There's a touch of class. Improvisation at its best. That's 4. Alan Border, knowing the fine leg is up inside the circle, whipped it away. Beautifully played.
3 boundaries for Alan Border so far. That was a lovely shot. Just a flick of the wrist there. He knew where that fieldsman was at fine leg. He was up trying to save the one. All he had to do was elude him, and it was 4 runs. That was perfectly played by the Australian captain. He moves on to 49, just 1 away from half-century. That'll be the first one in this game.
He doesn't let him down. Well played, Alan Border. Almost a runner ball. 54 deliveries faced, just what the doctor ordered, and well, he's a delighted captain as well. He might be. A tremendous effort. Border rocks him over cover. There he goes. Beautifully placed, the open face. That'll be 4 more. The Australian captain of fire here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
And the game just getting a little easier now for the Australians. The pressure just starting to go. It was a lovely shot by Alan Border. It was short of a length from Azharuddin. There was no one else out there in the deep. It was a matter of clearing the infield, and it was a certain 4 runs. It was vintage Border.
And Chetan Sharma comes into the attack from the members' end. And he does that, but it's a bit over the line, but under that slightly. It's a long boundary. Jones looking for 4. Border will come back. Yes, he does. 4 run. Well done, Alan Border.
And this certainly sorts the men out from the boys. The fellows that have got good arms, good throwing arms. Alan Border then, he was a little slow to get moving. Dean Jones nearly lapped him. But because of the size of this ground, gave him the opportunity to pick up that 4th run. And Jones certainly winning the contest there, but it didn't matter. And Border able to get easily through for that 4th run.
Superb knock by Border. This time he goes again. It's straight down the ground. Kapil Dev's the fieldsman. Running on the outfield very fast. Kapil Dev does the fielding okay, but there's 3 more to Border. 7 runs off 2 deliveries. 10 for victory. Alan Border and his team.
Kapil Dev to Jones.
There he goes. He's got that nicely away over square. That'll be 4 runs. Jones picking up Kapil Dev. So it's 1 run for victory after 47 overs.
And what a fitting end it'll probably be to this match. Dean Jones picking up 4 runs there, and Australia just needing 1 run, and it's going to be the Australian captain who will be on strike. But that was a nice shot by Dean Jones, just straight onto his pads. It was the up and under shot, right over backward square leg for 4 runs. Kapil Dev's brought up all the field. He's going to invite Border to either deflect it fine or to go over the top.
Happy crowd chanting. Border swing and a miss outside off stump. Tony Kraft, he's laughing. Sharma's enjoyed this competition, and Alan Border just needs one to bring off the Benson Hedges World Series Cup.
And what Tony Kraft was laughing about, Bill, was the fact that Dean Jones was asking for a wide to wrap up the match, but Tony Kraft wasn't going to give it to them that easily.
There they go. They're through for the single. Kapil Dev does the fielding. Well played, Alan Border. Well played, Australia. A fine victory. Fought in a very good sporting spirit as well. The Indian captain immediately over Alan Border. Srikkanth comes in. 72,000 fans go haywire here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. A wonderful victory by the Australian team. Devastated after the Test series, have come back with good selections to take out the Benson Hedges World Series Cup.
Good evening, everybody. I have the pleasant duty to perform this ceremony from down here on the ground today. We've got $72,000 in cheques to hand out to the players, and the first award we're going to make tonight is the man of the match for this game. And I'd like to announce that myself. It is, in fact, it's the man of the match for the Benson Hedges World Series Cup finals, and it's this magnificent gold train goblets as well as a cheque for $2,000. I have pleasure in announcing that that man is Greg Matthews. Well done, mate. Don't hold it up yet. There's the cheque. There we are. I don't know whether you could come a little bit closer, Greg. You've obviously thoroughly enjoyed the Benson Hedges World Series Cup this year.
Very much so, especially the finals. I'd like to give a special thanks to Simo for helping me throughout the year, and a big word of thanks to all the guys who gave me a lot of support during the year, and this wouldn't have been possible without them. To Jeff Marsh, who started it all for me with that really brilliant catch off Jimmy Amarnath in the first final, a special word of thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Greg. Well, now I'd like to call upon Mr. Malcolm Gray of the Australian Cricket Board. Mr. Gray is going to help me with the presentation of the cheques to the players. Mr. Gray.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And if I could ask Kapil Dev to come forward first of all. Bad luck today, Kapil, but on behalf of the Australian Cricket Board, can I thank you and your team for a wonderful summer of cricket this year. I have the pleasure now to hand to you, unfortunately it's the loser's cheque, but a cheque for $16,000, which I'm sure will make you a little bit happier. Bad luck and thank you.
We're not going to allow you to get away that easy. All right. Thanks on behalf of everyone for your contribution. This time last year you were taking away all the money and all the trophies and all the motor cars, but have you enjoyed the Benson Hedges World Series Cup?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, really we enjoyed the season 1985-86 in Australia. We enjoyed playing against Australia and New Zealand. And this summer was excellent, even though we had a bit of bad weather in between. And I just want to say a few things. We enjoyed, my team enjoyed. We're looking forward to come to Australia and get in. And I wish Australian team good luck for coming series against New Zealand. Thank you very much.
Could I now ask the victorious captain, Alan Border, to come forward? Congratulations, Alan, on behalf of the Australian Cricket Board, and I'm sure the whole of the Australian sporting public. I think, obviously, this is a wonderful way to finish a summer of cricket in Australia, with Australia being victorious. I have 3 cheques here, one for $12,000, which is a bonus awarded from the sponsorship, the Benson Hedges sponsorship money, awarded by the board for reaching the finals, another $12,000 bonus for winning the final, and an amount of $32,000 as the winner's prize, which is a cheque for a total of $56,000. Congratulations and well done to you and your team.
I'd just like to thank the Benson Hedges company for their continued support of Australian cricket. Also to my teammates for their fantastic performance over the past couple of months. It's been absolutely a pleasure to be associated with you. And also to you, the crowd, you've been fantastic. Without you, we couldn't have done it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alan. Just before, don't go too far away because we've got Mr. Barry Smith coming up shortly. Just before we do that, we'd like to announce the winners of the Benson Hedges World Series Cup Kit Kat strike rates, $3,000 each. The winner of the bowling was none other than that magnificent Victorian fast bowler, Simon Davis. I haven't got your check, Simon, but well done. The winner of the batting strike rate, the Roundtree Hoadley Company were the sponsors of that Kit Kat strike rate, and the batting strike rate went to Kapil Dev. Congratulations, Kapil. Now we have to call upon Mr. Barry Smith, who's chairman of the Benson Hedges Company, to make the presentation of the trophy. Mr. Barry Smith.
Thank you, Tony. On behalf of the Benson Hedges Company, I'd like to thank the three teams, the New Zealanders who are not here today, Kapil Dev's Indians, and Alan Border's Australians for giving us a thrilling summer of cricket. Unfortunately, not all teams can win, and I'd like now to congratulate Alan Border on winning the Benson Hedges World Series Cup. Alan?